and welcome to another week of Without Having Kicked a Ball. It's that time again where we delve into a football frenzy, but instead of dissecting the top four divisions, tonight we're just going to dissect the Premier League. So to help me with that tonight, I have Will. Hello Will, how are you?
Hello Ben, hello everyone, it's good to be back and looking forward to it, just the two of us as the song says, but we'll get on fine.
And we can make it if we try.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, so to start off with, I feel like there's no better place than the Manchester derby.
Yeah.
Every time that fixture is played, there's a lot of build up to it, and this one was no different. And it also is a poignant occasion because before kick-off,
and that was a shock. I mean, I'm not a fan of boxing, but I don't think any of us was expecting that. Sorry to interrupt you, Ben.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think he was a man of the people,
46,
and
that's no age to go.
No, it's not. And that's how he wanted to be remembered, and it was an impeccable minute of appreciation by both sets of fans, and
that's class. I saw it, and absolutely brilliant. And we're missing our master of the tributes. Sam Taylor he blossoms on this sort of thing.
Yeah, he does. He comes into his own with them, doesn't he, Sam? But he's not available tonight.
Yes.
But yeah, I think in terms of the football side of things, give me your thoughts.
Well, I thought it was like United was sort of cut open with a knife. I think, City were all over them, absolutely dominated the game, and United just didn't look like they were going to get into it at all. Even bringing players off the bench, and it's not very inspiring as well. You didn't feel like there was anybody that could really change the game. Maybe Harry Maguire, because he often is, the guy to rescue United when they're in peril, as so many times they've been. Absolutely, City deserved the win, and very good performance from them, and nothing much more to say than that.
Yeah, you make some valid points there. Obviously, I was in attendance at the game. Obviously, you know well, but not everyone else will. And that's, I go to watch United week in, week out, and a common thing that I've noticed, and it's crucial for United, and that is they have to get the first goal, because if they do,
then absolutely. The first goal is often the most important one, because it can really get you going, and it can change the game.
Yeah, exactly. And for United, it allows them to settle in, and the confidence grows. But more often than not, we go a goal down, and that's what happened in this game. And we were kind of architects of our own downfall, really, because for the first goal, Bruno lets go of his man, and then from there it's really...
Which is unlike him, isn't it, really?
Yeah, it is. He's usually a lot more aware than that.
Mr. Dependable, really.
Yes, exactly, and that's a good word. I also think mistakes were riddled at the back, Sure.
Well, I think for me, the goalkeeper, really. How do you pronounce his name?
Bayende.
Yeah, Bayende. He's not up to the task, is he?
No, he's not. He's not.
Yeah, I think.
And he doesn't instill confidence.
No, and I think the next game, if I was Ruben Amorim, I would put Lemons. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, or Lamons or something like that. Yeah.
I would honestly, I'd throw him in.
Well, yeah. If it was up to me, I would have done it in the derby, because that would be a real test of character.
Well, it would, and also that, being, even, with being really experienced, he's just, he's not up to the task, so, yeah.
Yeah, and I also think you made some valid points where you say United didn't look inspired, and I think that's a really valid thing to say.
But they've still got Tom Heaton, haven't they, at the club as well? So
yeah, I would put him ahead of Bayende.
Well, yeah,
but you say United didn't look inspired, and I think that's a good thing to say, because we had chances in the game, but as you say, we never looked like we were gonna score. And another crucial factor in the game is City pounced on our mistakes, and they were very clinical. And when Haaland's in that mood, there's no stopping it.
Yeah, you can't afford to make mistakes when you've got players like Erling Haaland, for example.
Yeah, exactly, and for the bigger picture for United, obviously since then the board have come out and said they're gonna remain patient with Amorim, but already next week's game against Chelsea is a crucial one for me. Obviously Chelsea play tomorrow in the Champions League. United will have the home advantage, but also an advantage of having a week free.
I mean, it is going to be interesting, but yeah, it is a massive game for them, and but time will tell. And and by the way, folks, we have a group chat, all the lads, and we didn't have anything from Ben on the Sunday because you were processing the derby defeat. I bet you were shaking with anger. Remember when we were doing a live stream, and my parents called me down for tea, and I was shaking. I was that angry. You were probably like that, weren't you?
Yeah, I was doing an impression of you. Yeah. I mean, it was just absolutely dreadful, and obviously the feeling around losing a derby, you never want to do that, and the manner in which we lost was just not good enough, and there still remains more questions than answers right now. And just touching back on Amorim,
yes,
he's come out and said after
he won't
the
change his
derby.
style.
Yeah, exactly. Now I think if he's not gonna change it, that's okay. But what I do think is play players in their correct position. For example, push Bruno further up in midfield. Make room for Mainu. Play Luke Shaw at left wing back. Put players in the position where they're most likely going to affect the game.
Yeah, I mean, and how many times did we say, when we talked about, Ange last season at Tottenham, and him saying he, would never change his style or philosophy. And we've said many, many times, that if you're stubborn, when you're not getting the results, you're going to really suffer. And the same is for Amarim.
Yeah, exactly.
If he's not going to change his style, then the results are still poor. Nothing's going to change, really.
Yeah, exactly. And ultimately, it's going to cost him his job because...
because he lacks the flexibility. It seems to be a good manager. You need to be flexible. Okay, you play attacking football, most of the time, but like some games you do need to sort of dig in and grind in and park the bus. And to be good managers do that. They have two different styles. They're versatile.
Well, exactly. And football's a results business at the end of the day, and if you're not getting the results, ultimately your job's gonna be costly. So that's why the next few games are crucial. I just want to say one more thing from a City perspective for me is it was Donnarumma's debut, and already he made a big difference for City, I think, because obviously Ederson, he was absolutely amazing with his feet, but didn't really have a fearful presence in the goal, whereas Donnarumma, 6'5", big daunting presence, he made a fantastic save of a goal-bound shot from Mbeumo at 2-0, and if that goal went in, it might have changed the complexion of the game.
Yeah.
So that was a huge moment, and he already looks like he's going to be a cult hero for City. But yeah, we just from a United perspective, we have to dust ourselves down and hope our results change quickly.
I don't know. It's valid.
Do you want to say anything else before we move on?
No, I don't think so. I think I've said everything that I wanted to say about it. So I think we're ready to move on.
Yeah, no worries. So we've mentioned Ange briefly there, so
that actually works quite well. Yeah,
it only feels right to segue into Arsenal v Nottingham Forest, obviously. Ange's debut as the manager. Before we actually talk about the game, I want to get your opinion on Nuno out and Ange and all the ongoing things that happened there. So, what are your thoughts on Forest's managerial change?
Yeah, my thoughts is I think it's a mistake. I think it's a massive mistake. I also think that Marinakis, I think, is short of patience, and I think that's his weakness. I would not want to work for Marinakis. If I was a manager, I would absolutely 100% not want to work for Marinakis because it seems like he's got so little faith, and you do need patience, and I think Marinakis is a terrible owner. I think Forest would be better without him.
Yeah, well, it's certainly going to be interesting because it could be a scenario where you be careful what you wish for.
Yes,
so
exactly.
It's going to be interesting to see how it unfolds. But just before I give my opinion, what's your opinion on the Ange appointment? Do you think it's the right fit, or?
Well, I don't know. I mean, obviously it's very early days, but I'm going to make a prediction, and I think Forest are going to go down.
That's bold, but
It is
we've
bold,
seen.
but
We've
I just think, you know, obviously Ange are better players at Tottenham, and I just think with his style, I think Forest are going to go down. They're going to be going back down to the Championship.
Yeah, well, we've seen stranger things happen.
Well,
And
yes, that is true.
you know, as I just mentioned there, it could be a case of be careful what you wish for. Cause
Yes.
look at Birmingham, for example. They got rid of John Eustace when they were sixth, a healthy position in the Championship.
Yeah.
Appointed Rooney, thinking it was an ambitious appointment, and then they ended up in League One. So if what you're saying comes true for
Yes.
Forest, they could be in a similar position if what you're saying comes true.
I do think Forest are going to be relegated this season.
Yeah, it's certainly an interesting one. Because
would you, if you were a manager, would you want to work for Marinakis?
no, I think you're right in what you say there. Because I think a good point about Marinakis is his passion.
Oh yeah,
and
I
love.
get that. I was just about to say that. To his credit, unlike other owners, Marinakis is very, very, very passionate about.
Yeah, exactly.
Cares about the football side of it, but
Exactly, and
I think his negative, you know, is lack of patience, and you do need that as an owner. And you know, Marinakis, he needs more faith. He needs to trust more in people.
yeah,
Otherwise, he's
you're
going
right.
to get nowhere, and the club's not going to get nowhere. And if he doesn't have that, the club is better off without him.
I think you're right there. No, for
Maybe
me,
Nuno shouldn't have gone. Maybe Marinakis should have gone.
yeah, and just before we talk about the game and Arsenal's victory, how do you think Forest will fare in the Europa League?
Well, I mean that's going to be interesting because of course Palace are playing in the Conference League, aren't they, this season after the
Yes.
ruling, which means Forest are playing in the Europa League. Time will tell. I think it's going to be really, really interesting. I think they're going to struggle. I think Ange had better players at Tottenham. I think his style of football, and the players at Forest are worse than the players he had at Tottenham.
Yeah, to Marinakis' credit again, he has gone out and spent money to strengthen the depth of the squad. So that's a plus point when they're playing in Europe. But yeah,
Well, that is true, but I do think Tottenham's squad that Ange had are better than Forest's players.
yeah, I agree. I also think Ange isn't an upgrade on Nuno. Nuno, just on Nuno as well. It'd be interesting to see where he goes for his next club because obviously.
Yes, I mean, West Ham, I don't know if you've seen, but West Ham have been potentially linked with it if they sack Graham Potter, which, to be honest, I mean, Graham Potter is in serious danger of losing his job. Because things are not going well at the Olympic Stadium.
No, they aren't, but we'll get onto that.
Yes.
And yeah, I can see that potentially with Nuno because, as I said,
might be a better fit for him, maybe.
Yeah, and as I said in one of my articles, Nuno is a manager who likes to take a club from a David to a potential Goliath if he's given the time, and he could do that.
That's a good phrase. Yeah, but you're right. Yeah.
He could do that with West Ham. So
yeah, I mean, look at what he did at Wolves. I mean.
Yeah, exactly. Amazing. Got them into Europe as well.
Yeah,
and
course,
I think they got to a quarter final of the Europa League. But anyway, talk to me about the game. Obviously, a convincing win for Arsenal.
I'm afraid for Forest fans, the negatives just keep coming because Forest were absolutely wiped out. Arsenal were effectively sort of. It was like the asteroid and the dinosaurs, really. Arsenal were the asteroid and Forest were the dinosaurs, and they just wiped them out.
Yes, it was a very convincing win, and Forest under Nuno, they were quite exciting and dynamic up front, and
well, don't forget that Andrew's not had many training sessions as well, so it would have been.
Yeah, that is very true. Giving the benefit of the doubt there, but
yeah,
they
no,
did
Arsenal,
look.
I mean, Noni Madueke again, capping off a really good week. Playing for England as well and scoring for them, and he looks like a really, really good player, really quick, and. Yeah, obviously 2 goals from Martin Zumendi as well. I mean, Arsenal just absolutely dominant and deserving of their victory.
Yeah, I think you're right. I also think another thing to mention when talking about Arsenal is the business they've done, because for the past
particularly Eze.
Yeah, exactly. And Eze's got a real X factor about him, and they've added strength to the depth of the squad. So
he's a good player, isn't he? Yes, and when Saka's back from injury, and Saliba was on. Well, in fact, Saliba's on the bench tonight in their Champions League game against Athletic Bilbao.
Yes.
Then once they have them back, I think Arsenal do have good squad depth, and maybe might have enough to finally win the Premier League.
Yeah, I think.
I think they certainly could be one of the contenders again.
Yeah, for sure. I think this season is the best chance they've had. I will say though, just on Eze, because I've watched their game tonight. Now, he's got the X factor, as I just said. But tonight and against Forest, he was being played on the left wing. Now, that isn't Eze's best position. His best position is in a centre attacking midfield role where he can play with freedom.
Well, to be fair, because Saka's out, I guess he's had to, reshuffle, I guess.
Well, what happens is Madueke plays where Saka is.
Oh, well, yeah, of course, yeah. So.
And Eze plays where Martinelli
plays, yeah.
Yeah. So I would tweak the system again, and I'd play Eze more centrally, because that's where he does his best work for me. But
so in the number 10 attacking midfielder role.
Yes, and giving him plenty of freedom to go and roam, and that's where he does his best work, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think with Ange, the jury's out for me, but I think you summed it up well there. So,
Yeah, I'd be really harsh, Forest fans. This will not be good listening for them, but it's it's very hard to feel, positive for them. I just think with Ange, and there was good enough players in the Tottenham squad to, cope with Ange's football style, and that of course they were never going to go down. But Forest are a different proposition entirely, and I think if Ange's not flexible, it could be a very tough season for him and fans of Nottingham Forest.
yes, I agree. And I don't think there's much left to say on that.
No, I think we've said all that we can about that game.
Yes, so now we're going to go to Arsenal's North London rivals.
Yes.
Tottenham, they played in a derby game against West Ham.
Yeah.
They continued their good start to the season.
Yes.
Business as usual for them, but for West Ham, it was another damning defeat. And as you alluded to, Graham Potter is under serious threat.
Yes,
so
I mean, if they don't improve by Christmas, I think I would put my money on. Well, I don't bet, but I would put my money on him being one of the next ones to lose their jobs.
Yes, the only thing I would say to that is, I think Christmas might be a bit generous, but we'll see.
Yes, that is true, actually.
But yeah, give me your thoughts on the result and the game.
Well, another good result for Thomas Frank's Tottenham, and what a brilliant appointment I think they made in replacing Ange with Thomas Frank. I mean, what a brilliant manager Thomas Frank is, and plays a good style of football. Seems to, everyone's. I get the impression that everyone seems to like him. Whatever club he's at, there's good team bonding, and everyone likes him, and that's what you want. There's a very happy sort of atmosphere, no toxic at all, and it's showing, and they're putting good performances as well. And I didn't know how they would do. Especially one, would Thomas Frank be able to make the big step up? And two, Son was going to be a miss after his departure. But it seems like they're just going from strength to strength. And I think it could be a very good season for them.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
And West Ham, I mean, when Graham Potter was appointed, I remember saying on this show, I thought, I think this would be a good fit for Graham Potter. No disrespect West Ham fans, but a less bigger club than Chelsea. And I thought it would be the right club and the right environment for him, and it just hasn't happened, has it? I don't know what's gone wrong. I mean, obviously, so recap with David Moyes, with Julian Locatelli, and but it just they just seem to have continued on a downward spiral, and I don't know why, but another poor result for the Hammers.
Yeah, again, I think you've summed it up really well there for both sides. I will just add on West Ham, and I'm in danger of repeating myself here, but again, it's like, be careful what you wish for, because David Moyes, he was really effective in the way he managed, in the way he got the best out of his squad. They won a European trophy, a night to remember for all the fan base. Everything looked rosy, and too many ownerships get fixated on playing, champagne football.
Champagne football, I like that. Is that the term to like the Pep Guardiola sort of style of football?
Yeah, exactly. And just they want to make it pleasing on the eye, which,
But
of course,
the other argument, sorry to interrupt you, Ben, but football, when people pay their money to go in the stadium or watch it on TV, they want to be entertained.
they do, and that's correct. And right, there's no disputing that. But also, you've got to weigh up sometimes. What would you rather, entertainment or results? And David Moyes might have not been the most entertaining, but he certainly got results. And
He
again,
did,
I go
and I
back
think
to
Moyes throughout, sorry to interrupt you again, Ben, but Moyes throughout his 10 years there, I think he did all he could at West Ham. I don't think there was anything more he could do or where to take them. I think he'd done all he could with that club.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think again he deserved more respect.
Oh well, yes, I agree. I agree on that
and
point too as well.
And fast forward to the present, West Ham, they just look like a club in crisis. You talk about a real connection at Tottenham. That is completely non-existent at West Ham. Everyone seems like a team of individuals when they step out onto the pitch.
Do you think the owners need to go as well, Ben? Do you think Karen Brady? Do you think that they need to? Are they the problem? Do you think?
Well, they certainly have fuel to the fire, and the ownership at West Ham. There's always been a disgruntled noise around them.
Yeah.
So I think if they did do a Daniel Levy and sell up.
I like that. That's going to become like a term. And, we need to mention about the Daniel Levy, don't we?
Yes, that's a good point, actually. I think if that did happen from a West Ham perspective, a lot of the fans would be happy. So, I think they're part of the problem. Yeah. But yeah, Daniel Levy, obviously, recent times, the Spurs fans have called for his head, and they've finally got their wish.
Well, yeah, I have to say, it was very weird timing, because obviously we recorded our transfer deadline day special, and you would have thought, well, if Levy was going to go, why didn't he go at the beginning of, before this season had started? It's a really strange time. And
that's what I was going to say. It's the timing of it for me, so makes you wonder, did he have a falling out or something?
Well, yeah,
because
it's very abrupt, and I just, like you, I don't think any of us saw it coming.
No, and Thomas Frank came out and said he was planning for a long relationship with him. So, yeah.
So even he was taken aback as well, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, very strange one. I'd just like to mention, obviously, a few things. Obviously, as we mentioned, West Ham in disarray, and I can't see it getting any better.
No.
I, like you, thought the Graham Potter appointment was a good one. I thought
on paper, I thought it would actually be the right level club for him, and he wouldn't be too out of its depth. But
exactly. And I also thought, after it going so wrong for him at Chelsea, I also thought the time for him to get his reputation back on
exactly.
on
From all
track.
the good work he did, like at Swansea and Brighton.
Yeah, exactly. But in actual fact, it's just ruined his reputation even more from a Tottenham perspective. Kudus was good on his return to his former club. He made things happen. Look like a spark
Good
of
signing,
energy.
isn't it? For
He is a
Tottenham.
good signing. The West Ham fans labelled him Judas, not Kudus. Which I thought was quite amusing.
Potter took a hammering.
He did. Well done.
Oh, thank
I'll
you.
give you that. I also thought Bergvall was sensational. Ran the show in the middle of the park.
I
And
think
took
also
his goal
Tottenham's
well.
recruitment has been really good this summer as well. The signings they've made as well.
Yeah, it was. I agree. Another debutant for Xavi Simons, and he was effective.
Yeah, which we all thought, by the way, was going to be going to Chelsea.
Yes, you're right with that. You're right, we did. But he was again another one who was very effective. So yeah, all the signs are looking promising for Spurs, and as we speak, they're playing in the Champions League tonight against Villarreal. I will update you with the results later on in the show. But for now, we're going to move on, stay in London, but move on to talk about Brentford and Chelsea. I'll start on this one,
Okay,
and then I'll come to.
That's fine.
No, it was a 4-goal thriller. The game finished 2-2. I just want to start by saying Brentford. I think Keith Andrews deserves a hell of a lot of credit.
Yes.
For many reasons. The first reason being they've lost key players out the building. You think of Wissa,
Christian, oh God.
Yeah, Christian Norgard, who was also a leader and a key figure, not just his footballing ability, a real leader. I think he was the club captain, obviously.
Yeah.
Brian Mbeumo, you're losing 20 goals a season there. So when you lose that kind of ability, and obviously a great manager in Thomas Frank, everything points to relegation. Now they still could get relegated because it's early in the season, but so far so good from Keith Andrews and Brentford.
To get this against Chelsea, brilliant.
I thought the performance against Chelsea, brilliant, as you say. I thought they were energetic. I thought they didn't show them too much respect. If you didn't watch football and weren't familiar with the teams, you wouldn't know which one was Brentford and which one was Chelsea. And I think that's one of the highest compliments you can pay.
Absolutely. It was a really, really good game, wasn't it?
Yes. I also want to mention Jordan Henderson because a lot of eyebrows were raised when Brentford brought him back. People saying he was finished and he's this and he's that, but again, it's he's a leader and and a character you can really lean on. He can rally the troops when needed, and he's a mould from a
The squad can get excited when they got a player called Jordan.
Oh yeah. I bet Jordan was loving it when he got his assist.
Yeah.
What an assist that was, by the way.
Yeah.
And for me, that's how football should be played.
You also need your experienced veterans, who are good leaders in the dressing room to sort of advise and guide the younger players as well. It's what makes a good team.
Yeah, exactly. You need a blend, and
yes,
and
exactly.
Brentford have done well. I think they've made an upgrade in the keeper position as well.
Callum from Liverpool, didn't they? They bought him.
Yes, he's very good and made some crucial saves from a Chelsea perspective. Again, a good performance.
Yeah.
Obviously,
they'd be disappointed to draw it.
They were because of the time. There was only about 2 minutes left on the clock. But in terms of the balance of play, I think a draw was.
Oh well, yes, I agree with you. Because
about
like you said,
right.
You wouldn't know which team was which.
Exactly, and for Chelsea, yes, it's annoying to not get a winner, so to be denied a winner so late on. But I think positive to take, obviously, Cole Palmer coming back into the team, making an impact.
He made almost an instant impact, didn't he, when he came on the...
Well, he did, because he...
Injection of energy.
Yeah, exactly. Injection of energy, injection of imagination. He quickened the tempo, and obviously scored a goal which will do him the world of good. Obviously, Garnacho made an impact when he came on, although he did go sleeping.
How do you feel as a United fan, Ben? Sorry to interrupt you, by the way. How do you feel about Garnacho's departure?
I think that was the right decision. We know he's a player with potentially world-class potential and ability, but we talk about guidance.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't have the right guidance, and the people around him. So for that reason, I think it was the right decision. Obviously, United at the moment, they're trying to change the culture and get the bad eggs out of the building, and I think he was one of them.
Yes.
So I think that's the right decision. Yeah, the right decision.
Yeah, sorry Ben, you can go back to, what you were saying.
Yeah, he did. He did make an impact when he came on, Garnacho, and he'll certainly get a few Chelsea fans off their feet. But
he's got a lot of competition, isn't it? He's going to have to work hard because there's a lot of players in his position.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, Chelsea, they have a model where if you're not, you'll definitely get sold, and that works for them. And I think it's...
Oh, absolutely. The thing about Maresca is, I think he would put your arm around you, but equally, if you're not up to the standard, he's not afraid, to lay down the law to you, and which is again what makes a good manager as well.
Yeah, exactly. You need a blend and a mix of both, don't you? But to round that game off, great game, great entertainment.
Yes.
Probably one of the most entertaining games of the season, if not
I
the
would
most.
probably agree with you with that. Yeah, pretty good game.
But yeah, props to Brentford and Keith Andrews so far because, as I said,
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
I certainly had them down as relegation contenders, and so far they're proving everyone wrong so
I think
far.
Brentford will be. I think they'll be fine. They've got a good top quality keeper, and I think Brentford will be fine.
Yeah, obviously we'll have to wait and see how the season plays out, but they've certainly made a good start. And
Yeah.
Keith Andrews
Again, they've
is,
appointed, sort of eternally, haven't they? For continuity, because Thomas Frank was assistant manager to Dean Smith, wasn't he?
yes,
And then Dean Smith left, and then Thomas Frank became the manager, and then Keith Andrews was already part of the coaching team. So again, it's good for continuity, and if it works again, then it's obviously it's a bold system to have, but it's good.
yeah, because it's working.
Yeah, exactly.
And also just one more thing on Keith Andrews is that people might not know this, but he's a very good communicator, and also like Thomas Frank, he seems to have a good relationship with the players. He seems to be a great man manager. So initially I was skeptical, but now I've changed my views.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, that's fair enough.
And
Yeah,
that's
I
props.
agree with you.
And that's props to Brentford, to be fair.
Yes, absolutely.
But yeah, I feel like if Chelsea, if they want to be title contenders, which some people
they
might
need a
say,
decent goalkeeper, don't they? I think that's the final piece of the puzzle.
Yes, they do, because if you look throughout history of football, every title-winning team has a goalkeeper that has a presence in goal and can make you match-winning saves. And I don't think
City used to have Edison, Liverpool have Alisson, those guys.
Yes, exactly. And I don't think Robert Sanchez is that man. So, I do also. One more thing I'll say on Chelsea is that next week they have United, and if they want to be in contention to challenge for the title, I think they have to go to Old Trafford and find a way to win the game.
I'll tell you what, I bet you must be really nervous about that game, mustn't you?
Well, I think both teams have to win for different reasons. Chelsea have to win if they want to be considered title. Yeah, and United have to win to stop the pressure mounting.
Yeah, to keep the dignity, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, and also to prove that the players actually want to fight. They want to win.
Yeah, they want to play for the club, and they're proud to play for the club.
Yes, exactly. So that's going to be an interesting fixture next week. Also, an interesting fixture next week is the Merseyside derby. So that'll be interesting.
That'll be Liverpool's first visit to Everton's new stadium.
Yes, it will. But that's it from me on those games. Unless you want to add any more, Will.
No, I don't think so. I think we can, move on to our fourth game.
That is, we've done all four.
Oh, have we? Oh God! Oh right, okay, fair enough.
I can just go through
Yeah. You could go for the results. Sorry, Ben.
No worries, no worries. So, Saturday in the Premier League, this week's round of fixtures was kicked off by Arsenal v Forest. We mentioned it, we talked about it.
Don't need to go into detail with that one.
The goal scorers were Zubimendi twice, and Gyökeres continuing his goal scoring form, assisted by Eze. Eze got that assist. Then the first 3 o'clock game was Bournemouth v Brighton. Bournemouth won that one 2-1.
Yeah, I didn't know how that game would go. I thought that might be a draw.
Yeah, because on paper, their teams have similar ability.
Exactly.
I'd say Bournemouth just have a slight edge, but Bournemouth won that 2-1. Alex Scott and Antoine Semenyo with Bournemouth's goal.
What a good goal it was.
Yes, it was. And Mitoma got Brighton's solitary goal. Next up, we have 2 seconds. Crystal Palace v Sunderland, which was a 0-0.
I have to say, Sunderland seem to be doing relatively well since they're back in the Premier League.
They do, and you know what? So far, the best compliment I can give Sunderland is that they don't really look out of place. They recruited smartly.
They did, yeah.
You know,
good signings.
Xhaka probably being their
who
marquee.
saw that one coming? You know, when that came out on the transfer news, it's like, wowzers, did not see that one coming. Yeah.
Xhaka probably being their marquee signing, but as I say, they've recruited smartly.
Yeah.
Palace though, they should have probably won that game because they did have 2 or 3 glorious chances.
Do they not deserve credit for actually, getting a draw when they've lost Eze? Do you not think?
Well, potentially, but I don't think so. And the reason is that they've brought in a player called Jeremy Pino. Now, he looks like a creative machine again. He missed a golden chance. He does look quite raw and inconsistent, but if he can get that consistency, he'll be a great.
He could be a good player then.
Yeah, he'll be a great watch if he can get that consistency. But a point on the road for Sunderland is a great point. Not so much for Palace, but I suppose a positive is they didn't lose.
Right, yep.
Next up, we have another 0-0, and that is Everton v Aston Villa. The Jack Grealish derby, you could say.
Yeah.
Now, I saw some highlights of this game, and Emi Martinez was in fine form.
Well, he's a good goalkeeper. Imagine if Chelsea were to sign him. What a signing. He would.
Yeah, or even United.
Well,
he was
close. He was linked with them, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, he was close to signing for us. He said he wanted to sign for us, but the reason it didn't happen was because Sancho didn't want to move to Villa permanently.
Right, okay, fair enough.
So yeah, Martinez showing his class again. Villa are yet to score in the Premier League though,
Yeah,
which
they
is
seem
quite
to be, for the first time in Unai Emery's tenure, they seem to be slightly struggling.
Yes, I agree. I will say though, I don't think it will last, but they need to get firing soon.
Yeah.
I think Harvey Elliott is a smart acquisition.
Yeah, because I think he'd get in Liverpool's team, he wouldn't always start because of the competition, but in Villa's team, he probably would get in, wouldn't he?
Yes, and he's playing tonight actually because they're in Carabao Cup action,
Right,
and
yeah.
he's actually scored. So they're winning 1-0,
well,
and
that will do him a lot of good then.
Yes, it will, exactly. Next down the list on Saturday's fixtures, we have Fulham v Leeds at Craven Cottage. Now, it was left right to the death.
Very, very late, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. But an absolute comical
it
own
was
goal.
bizarre, wasn't it? It was an own goal by the Leeds goalkeeper.
Yeah, I think bizarre is the right word to use. There it was, because he had free reign of the ball, and then he just backed into the ball and it went into the net. So, but Fulham won't care, of course.
Oh, of course, yeah. A win's a win.
Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't matter how they got there as long as they get there. And get there they did, because they won the game 1-0. Next up we have Newcastle v Wolves. A debut goal for Nick Voltermeyer. Now,
well done for pronouncing his name, Ben, because it's quite a hard one.
Thank you.
If I was doing it, I would have cocked it up.
You probably would have done, yes. But that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here to assist you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would do him the world of good. His confidence will be sky high. And obviously a relief for Newcastle and Eddie Howe, because losing an attacking threat in Alexander Isak, their best striker in years.
Oh my God, that saga. I mean, Eddie Howe must be so relieved that's over.
Yes, I think he will be. But yeah, great relief that that Isak's replacement scored, and Eddie Howe and the Newcastle faithful will be hoping it's the first of many.
Yeah,
For
and
Wolves,
Wissa,
it's...
you he's Wissa, once he's fit again, hopefully between him and Wissa they'll get a lot of goals for Newcastle between them.
Yeah, I think they will. I think Wissa will add another option as well. What I like about Voltermeyer is he's very tall, but he also has great technical ability.
Yeah.
So he can mix his game up. But for Wolves, it's another miserable defeat. That's 4 out of 4 losses now, and they sit rock bottom. Now, you could cut them some slack in some
I
ways.
think you're going to say Matthias Cunha's departure.
Well, yeah, Cunha's departure, Nelson Semedo, a bit similar to Brentford in some ways.
They lost a lot, didn't they?
Yes, they did. but I still think they should be doing better. And if they don't get the result going soon, Vitor Pereira might be in trouble.
Yep.
Next down the list, we mentioned it before, but I'll just tell you the goal scorers. Before the goal scorers, actually, there was a red card for Thomas Souček in the West Ham v Tottenham game. That would have changed the game, because obviously Tottenham then had a man advantage. But I think even with 11 v 11, they probably would have still lost. So the red card came in the 54th minute for Thomas Souček.
Yeah.
And Tottenham's 3 goals were scored by Pape Sarr, Lucas Bergvall, and Mickey van der Ven.
Yeah.
The last game on the Saturday, again we touched on it, is Brentford v Chelsea. That scoreline was 2-2. The Brentford goals came from Kevin Schade, who I will just say that if Brentford are to have a successful season, a lot will come through him, because what a player he is. On transition, he's great at one-on-ones, and usually when he is on a one-on-one situation, the ball ends up in the back of the net. So if they are to be successful, a lot will come through him. So he was Brentford's first goal scorer on the 35th minute.
Yes.
And then Fabio Carvalho in the 93rd minute.
Yeah.
Chelsea's goal scorers were Cole Palmer in the 61st minute and Moises Caicedo in the 85th minute. It was an absolute rocket. And Chelsea probably thought they won it at that moment in time. We move on to the Sunday now. Starting off at Turf Moor with newly promoted Burnley taking on the champions Liverpool. That was a very competitive.
A very tight game. I thought Liverpool were going to absolutely put Burnley to the sword, but yeah, very, very tight game.
Yeah, well, usually that's how you would have thought it would have worked out, but as we know, football doesn't always work like that, and Burnley defended brilliantly.
Yes, well, Scott Parker's
is
a good manager, isn't he?
Yes. It was, talking of red cards, there was a red card in that game, coming in the 84th minute for Leslie Ugachukwu. And then
well done
Liverpool
for pronouncing his name, because yeah, that's quite a hard one.
Thank you. And then Liverpool's only goal of the game came from the penalty spot. By the way, what a brain dead decision from Hannibal that was. Clear as day penalty. But Salah was there to score again from
do
the
what
spot.
Mo Salah does best, really.
Exactly.
And
Mr.
can I just
Villa.
say, sorry, just before we move on, Kirk's coming off, I think, in the 38th minute. I mean, yeah, after, so I guess it was probably after the yellow card for simulation, wasn't it, that, Slot wanted to bring on Robertson.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think just on Kirk as well, he's probably found it the most difficult to
Is it
to
still?
like.
I just want to ask you: is he still too raw for you? Do you think? Do you think he's
But
not quite ready?
I think so. I think obviously he had a stormer of a season
Because
at Bournemouth.
he's only had one season, hasn't he, before this in the Premier League?
Yes, yeah, and obviously that season he proved himself, and it was a stormer. But the demands are very different between Bournemouth and Liverpool, and
Yeah.
I think so far he's struggled. So he might benefit from a couple games on the bench.
Right.
I think. What do you think?
Yeah, I think. I mean, obviously, it's good that they've got Robertson is not getting any younger, so it's good that they've got a successor. But I mean, there's always a risk. You get players that have a really good one season, and then just completely go into decline. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Maybe it's time to play Robertson and then have Kirkes, on the bench, and just sort of again, sort of get him ready, more settled.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's the way to go down for Liverpool. I think obviously they've got four, as we said before, when that happens, fans of football clubs don't care. But I think in terms of performances, it is a little bit of a worry for Liverpool because quite easily they could.
The champions find a way to win games, even if they win ugly, and Liverpool could maybe be contenders to win the league again.
Well, that's right. The champions do find a way, but also, what I will say, if they continue to play subpar of what they can play, the luck will run out, and now they won't get last minute winners every game. So they do need to sharpen up, but as you say, champions do find a way.
And I mean, why is he not playing Conor Bradley as a right back? He's playing Dominic. How do you pronounce his name?
Szoboszlai.
Yeah, Szoboszlai.
Yeah.
Because he's not a right back as well. So
he's not, but to be fair to him, so far he's taken to that position like a duck towards it. To be fair. So it could be one to watch to see how it materialises.
Yeah, fair enough.
The next game, the last game to round up the weekend, we
try and make sure you don't descend into anger. It's not going to bring PTSD, is it?
I know, yeah, PTSD, bloody hell. Well, the last game of the weekend was the Manchester derby at the Etihad. City v United. United got what they deserve, really, and that was a 3-0 loss, unfortunately. Goals coming from Phil Foden, who opened the scoring on the 18th minute, and then a double from the goal machine Haaland.
Yep.
His first coming on the 53rd minute and the 68th minute. And he'll have a very good season. Yet again, he'll probably win the Golden Boot. As I alluded to earlier, when he's in that kind of form, he's unstoppable.
Oh yeah. I mean, City. Do you think they'll still? Do you think they'll still struggle? Do you think, or what, generally this season?
Well, obviously they've not had a great start. 2 wins and 2 losses, 6 points. I think a result like that in the manner which they won, it
They've
will
got
obviously.
Arsenal next, though, I think, so that's going to be a
Yes,
tough
they
test
do.
for them.
That's gonna be a very tough test. And again, I go back to what I said before about Chelsea. If they wanna win the league, um, the, both teams are gonna have to go and try and win that game. You know,
Oh,
it's no
absolutely, yeah.
use. It's no use playing for a draw like Arsenal did at Anfield. You wanna be, you wanna be, you wanna be bold. You wanna be brave in those type
Yeah,
of games.
exactly, yeah.
And Arsenal, I think, a home advantage.
Yeah, and
Will,
plus, you know, they've got great depth, you know, as we've said, you know, like Eze and, you know, people like that as well, so yeah.
yeah, exactly. I do think Arsenal will win, but if City somehow find a way to win, then I think that will be them really laying down the marker and saying, "Hold on, don't forget about us. We're still here."
Yeah,
So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting watch.
yeah, I agree.
Um, now as Himmler, are you done with your thoughts on all the games?
Oh, yes, I've said what I wanted to say on the game, so yeah, you can move on to the Champions League results.
Yeah, no worries. So tonight, as it's the first round of the Champions League games, we thought we'd give you those results. So starting off in Bilbao with Atletico Bilbao and Arsenal. Arsenal came out victorious with a 2-0 win. Martinelli and Trossard with the goals. They both came off the bench and they both scored the goals that ultimately made the difference.
So, right, was it quite a late one then for them to
Yes,
win?
Martinelli scored in the 72nd minute,
Oh, wow,
and
okay. Yeah, we're quite late then.
and Trossard scored in the 87th minute.
Oh, wow.
So yes, they were both late goals. And next up on the list, we have PSV 1, Union Saint-Gilles 3. Ryan Van Bommel with PSV's only goal coming in the 90th minute. David with the first Union Saint goal. Al Hadji with the second goal, and McAllister with the third and last goal for Union Saint-Gilles. Just on the Champions League, Will,
Yeah.
what do you make of the continuation of the format?
Well, I think it makes it more exciting. I mean, you know, we got, I think last season, you know, Celtic getting further than they would have done in the old format. So yeah, I think it's a very exciting format, and we might get a few shock results as well. So yeah, I mean, it took a while to get my head around it, but yeah, I think it's a good format. Are you there, Ben?
Yeah, I agree. I think I, like you, wasn't sure about the format at first, but now I like it. I think it adds an exciting layer to the Champions League.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah.
But anyway, I'll get back to the results. Next up on the list, we have the first of the 8 o'clock games, which as we speak, they're still going on. But I'll give you the results as of right now. So as of right now, it's Benfica v Karabakh, and that score is 2-2. Berenchia with Benfica's first goal in the 6th minute, and Pavlidis with Benfica's second goal in the 16th minute. For Karabakh, the first goal for them was Andrade in the 30th minute, and their second goal was scored by Duran in the 48th minute.
Is that John Duran?
No, I think Chris Duran or something like that.
Oh, I see, right.
John Duran, I think he's playing over in Turkey now.
Oh yeah, that was right.
For Fenerbahce. The second game of the 8 o'clock kickoff comes in Turin, and that is Juventus v Dortmund. So it is a very appealing fixture, and the score currently is 2-2 as well. Karim Yildiz with Juventus' first goal in the 63rd minute, and in the 67th minute, Dusan Vlahovic scored Juventus' second goal.
Yeah.
For Borussia Dortmund, Karim Adeyemi opened the scoring on the 56th minute.
Yeah.
52nd minute, and Felix Mecha scored their second goal in the 65th minute. The next game is Real Madrid v Marseille, one game that I'm watching right now. Marseille opened the scoring at the Bernabeu, actually. Timothy Weah with their goal, son of George Weah. And that goal came in the 22nd minute.
Yeah.
Their lead only lasted 6 minutes though, as Kylian Mbappe scored on the 28th minute from the penalty spot.
Well, who else, than him?
Exactly. And the last game of the 8 o'clock kickoffs in the Champions League comes at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. A debut for Thomas Frank.
I know. Well, I bet he must be so surprised he's here in the Champions League.
Well, he's deserved it really.
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
On his managerial CV, and it's been a good steady rise for him. And as I said,
yes,
it's one that he's deserved. And Reece Jr. with own goal to put Tottenham in front in the 4th minute. So Tottenham are currently winning that 1-0 against Villarreal.
Right.
Now, seeing as I alluded to it earlier, I will go through the Carabao Cup results as well, because
you might as well.
that's going on today as well.
Yeah, to fill the Jordan Eartham-shaped hole.
Yes, exactly. So we have 3 games in the Carabao Cup tonight. The first game, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Grimsby Town 1.
I bet you were just almost groaning in pain reading that.
I was about to say, you talk about PTSD.
No,
well, I've got it from
that
game.
Stop, I can't read Grimsby. No.
Yeah, exactly. So, Grimsby's goal came in the 49th minute, and Cabia was the person who got their goal, and they're 7 minutes away from round 4. Now that would be a good achievement.
Amazing, the Grimsby fairy tale.
Exactly. Their fans will be waiting with bated breath, and hopefully for their sake.
So maybe it's not. I mean, obviously United are poor, but maybe clearly if Grimsby are also doing well tonight, you know, maybe they are. Maybe it wasn't just United poor. Maybe Grimsby, you know, are just generally really doing well.
Well, they do have an effective way of playing. What I will say tonight, though, is their opponents are Sheffield Wednesday. Now,
so a club with a lot of history, of course.
Yeah, and a club with a lot of issues at the moment, like off the pitch. Obviously, Danny Roll going, and
of course,
players going on strike, and them having to rely on a lot of academy players. There are a lot of issues.
And that's going on strike, not because of like transfer moves, but that's because presumably over wages, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, exactly. The next game on the list is an old Premier League affair. We were talking about one of these clubs earlier, and that is Brentford against Aston Villa, with Brentford at home. And the scoreline is currently 1-1 with 20 minutes to go.
Oh, could be a good game, that, actually.
Yes, it is. I'm watching that on my iPad. But Harvey Elliott opened the scoring for Villa, which we mentioned it before, but yep. I think it will be a great move for him.
Could be a good launch pad for his Villa career.
Yeah, exactly, and I think he'll feel like the main man there, and I feel like that's what someone like Harvey Elliott needs. And Brentford's goal came in the 57th minute, and Aaron Hickey scored that.
Right.
So that's it. Oh no, sorry. There's one more fixture, and it's the first derby between Crystal Palace and Millwall. That is currently 0-0.
Right.
But both teams don't like each other there. So that concludes all the fixtures at play tonight. Do you have anything more to say, or any parting words?
I think it's been a really good show. We've covered a lot of bases. There's been some good talking points, and even though, you know, we're 2 less tonight, you know, it's been a good one.
Yeah, and you said to me earlier that you think I'm quite good at moving things along.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you know, you're better than me.
Thank you, I appreciate it, but you're also very good. So,
well, thank you. And in fact, in terms of moving things along, I think you beat Sam at that department easily.
Yeah, well, Sam and Jordan, to an extent, we both know they like a
Oh
ramble,
yeah.
but we
Oh yeah, I
wouldn't
think
have it.
some things like everything's like an after dinner speech, which he is, really good at that. I mean, speeches, yeah. So,
Yeah,
we miss you, lads. Can't wait to have you back on the show this next
yes,
week.
I echo those thoughts.
Yeah.
There is, just before we leave you, there is some drama in the Real Madrid v Marseille game. Danny Carvajal, experienced player,
Oh yeah,
just
very experienced.
ju- has just absolutely lost his mind, and he's stuck his head into the Marseille
Ooh.
goalkeeper, and it's now gone to VAR, and it looks like he's going to get
Well,
sent
you
off.
can't. You shouldn't need VAR for that. That's serious stuff. You can't be doing that.
No, and now the referee has got his red card in his hand, and it's an early bath for Carvajal.
Well,
What
yeah,
a
you
silly,
can't.
silly.
You cannot be doing that. That's absolutely disgraceful. How young players, you need to role models. You can't. When an experienced pro, you should not be doing that. I mean, yeah, he should know absolutely better.
Yeah, you're dead right there. I completely agree. Um, and he's still complaining now, going off the pitch.
Oh my
What
god.
a stupid idiot. Any more parting words from you, Will?
No, I don't think so, mate. I'll just say, yeah, I've really enjoyed the show tonight, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. And yeah, you can take us home. You can wrap it up.
Thank you for that, Will. All that's left for me to say is don't forget to check Will out. And that has been all, without having kicked a ball.